Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. Currently, we are reading the Chant and Be Happy. So only last two chapters are remaining. So today we will cover one, and tomorrow we will cover the last one. Okay. So yesterday we have seen that Prabhupada is giving the many references in many books, like they all are compiled. Okay. And like we see like what is the science of mantra meditation and like how it is recommended for the Kali Yuga, especially for now, like how Sankirtana movement is easy to catch. Okay, so today we will start with the chapter 8, benefits of a chanting. So let's start our session by offering the prayers.
Yes.
Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharam Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadatim Swapadantikam Vandeham श्री गुरु श्रीयुतपद कमलम श्री गुरुन् वैष्णवांच श्री रूपम साग्रजातम सहगण रघुनाथान्वितम सजीवम साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्गायते गिरि यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So please raise your hand who didn't get the opportunity to read yet. We are beginning with the chapter 8, the benefits of chanting.
Oh, good.
Gunavati Mataji, would you like to start?
Gunavati.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Pranam. Chapter 8, the benefits of chanting.
Daniel Goleman.
Dr. Daniel, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Daniel Goleman, PhD former associate, editor of Psychology Today, and author of The Meditative Mind, The Variety of Meditative Experience, and the bestseller Emotional Intelligence, after studying the meditation techniques of the member of the Hare Krishna movement, said, I found the Hare Krishna devotee to be well integrated, friendly, and productive human beings. In a culture like ours, in which inner spiritual development is almost totally neglected in favor of materialistic pursuits, we might have something to learn from their meditational practices. Everyone knows that a happy life requires good health, proper diet, adequate exercise, and sufficient rest are necessary to keep our bodies strong and fit. If we neglect these demands, our bodies become weakened and resistant veins, made susceptible to infection, we eventually fall ill. More important but less well known is the inner self's need for spiritual nourishment and attention. If we ignore our spiritual health requirement, we become overwhelmed by negative material tendencies like anxiety, hatred, loneliness, prejudice, greed, boredom, envy, and anger. In order to counteract and prevent this subtle infection of the self, we should, as recommended in the Vedic literatures and in many other scriptures, incorporate into our lives a program of self examination and steady inner growth based on spiritual strength and mindful thinking. The transcendental potential necessary for developing complete psychological and spiritual fulfillment is already present within everyone. It must, however, be uncovered by a genuine spiritual process. Of all such authentic process, India's timeless Vedas tells us that meditation on the Hare Krishna mantra is the most powerful. The initial result of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is summarized by Srila Prabhupada in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. We gave practical experience that any person who is chanting the holy names of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, in course of time feels some transcendental pleasure and very quickly becomes purified of all material contamination. In the preliminary stage of chanting, practitioners experience a clearing of consciousness, peace of mind, and relief from unwanted drives and habits. As they develop more realization by chanting, they perceive the original spiritual existence of the self. According to Bhagavad Gita, this enlightenment state is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, a multi volume work describing the life and teaching of Sri Chaitanya, founder of the modern day Krishna consciousness movement, the ultimate benefit of chanting is described. The result of chanting is that one awakens this love for Krishna and tastes transcendental bliss. Ultimately, one attains the association of Krishna and engages in his devotional service as if immersing himself in a great ocean of love. So, by chanting Hare Krishna, one reaps innumerable benefits, culminating in Krishna consciousness and love of God. We can realize the fruits of chanting by adopting the process of mantra meditation and applying it systematically. For clear understanding of the progressive effect of chanting, some of the more important benefits are discussed separately. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So yes, we do out of love, na, like we don't do the chanting for uh, for any material benefits or like other things, but we do because we come to know, okay, I am a soul, and like I am a part and parcel of Krishna, so it's my duty, and it's my duty to serve Krishna. It's the duty of a part to serve the whole. So like out of that love, and okay, let me like understand my position, and let me re-establish that forgotten relationship with the Lord. For that, we chant the holy name. But for the preaching purpose, we can say say this benefits to the newcomers. Okay, so like here in this discussion, like it is stated that some scientists, they they do some experiment even on the Hare Krishna devotees, and they found that the Hare Krishna devotees are well integrated, they are friendly and productive human beings. Okay, so like if we are not productive or if we are not integrated or friendly, then we must be, we are not taking process seriously, or we are not following the process. Then further, the happy life requires the good health, proper diet, like adequate exercise and sufficient rest. Even like the Bhagavad Gita is a life manual. It is not just a spiritual book. So what Krishna says, yukta ahara viharasya. So everything should be regulated. So Prabhupada says, if you are you don't need the sleep more than 6 hours and more than 7 hours. Okay, and as we say, there is a fixed sleeping time. The 9 p.m. to the 2 a.m. is the best time to sleep. And further, we also seen we have to take the a food, we have to take the prasadam on the regular time, especially dinner the before sunset. Okay, so yes, and we also need na Prabhupada, like when doctor said, Prabhupada, you need to exercise little. So to enhance their performance, they started the morning walk, and then morning walk they are discussing about the Krishna. Okay, and even we can see my Guru Maharaj, to pre-reach more and to maintain his body, he's also doing some physiotherapies and doing some exercise. So doing exercise is important, because unless we are in a good body, we cannot practice the spirituality. Even if you have the fever, we can see the quality of a chanting. So this is very important, that we should take the proper diet, that too in a prasadam, not too salty, not too spicy, the proper sattvic food. And second is like we should do the adequate exercise. Our body should be moved, na? Like we can like the Surya Namaskars are the best, like, or like we can hear the kirtan and like we can walk, or we can put Srila Prabhupada's lecture or like Srimad Bhagavatam lecture and we can walk, okay, for some time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that's also enough. Okay, so like proper diet, adequate exercise, and sufficient amount of the rest. Okay, so like we should have the proper rest at least for the 6 hours. Okay, and once you become more and more spiritualized, the quantity of sleep reduces because they are very sincere. Now we can see our senior devotees, they are so sincere. Even they sleep at around like a 10 or 10 p.m. or like a 2 or sometimes 12 due to there are some services, but then also like they are present in the Mangal Arati at 4 a.m. So like we can see more we become spiritual, the requirement of this material rest and the material comfort decreases. Okay, so currently we are at the sadhaka stage, so we have to follow this yukta like what we say, like a regulated life, like a regulated food, regulated habits, and like a regulated exercise. Okay, and regulated sleep also. Otherwise like our health will be affected and like we will fall ill, and when we fall ill, our sadhana will be disrupted. So we have to take care of our physical body, but it is also important to take care of our own body, like we are the spirit souls. So like how we have to take the care of the spirit soul, and then like how we can nourish and how we can give the attention to that spirit soul by feeding him the spiritual content by here by doing the shravanam and kirtanam. Okay, so like, and when we don't take care of our inner self, then like negative material tendencies like anxiety, hatred, loneliness, prejudice, and greed, boredom, envy, anger all arises, and these all are shadvikarna, these are the six enemies of our. Then like when we take the spiritualities, we start doing the self examination, and and we become a steady in our steady in our sadhana, and depend on that our spiritual strength increases, and a clarity of a thought comes. Okay, so like then what is the genuine process for spiritual realization? So like we can find in our Vedic scriptures that the meditation on Hare Krishna is the best way, especially for this Kali Yuga. Okay, and even some benefits of a chanting Hare Krishna is given by the Srila Prabhupada in a commentary of a Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So it is very important now when you are start reading the books, even Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, you have to start with the first page. Okay, because where the all books are so nectarian. So yes, what Prabhupada says, when you start chanting the Hare Krishna, firstly what happens, like in a course of time, like you will start feeling the transcendental pleasure, and like very quickly, like you will be purified from all the material contamination. Okay, so unless still we feel that we are not purified, means like we haven't taken the process, we are not taking the medicine seriously. Okay, so in a primary stage what happens, our consciousness start clearing, and we will find some peace of mind, and a relief from the unwanted drives and habits. Okay, when we take the Hare Krishna mantra, then a little purification happens, and then a clarity of thoughts come, and we feel little peaceful. Okay, and it also help us to give up the unwanted drives and habits. Okay, so we can see like ourselves also, like when we start chanting Hare Krishna, then it becomes very easy to follow the four regulative principles. Then when one advance further, then he perceives the original and spiritual existence of a self. He come to know who is he, and people can read, okay, I am the soul, and like Krishna is the supreme soul, but they are not able to digest, and they are not able to accept. But when we chant the Hare Krishna, then they can easily accept the philosophy. Okay, and further, then the one's mind get pure, and he can relish and rejoice the self. And and what the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what is the what should be the result of a chanting, that one should get the Krishna prema. Okay, and like one should attain the association of Krishna and like engage in his loving devotional service. So like we have to chant very sincerely, we have to follow the process, and we have to apply everything systematically. Hare Krishna. Surendranath Prabhu, you want to read?
Yeah, I can read it.
Yes, Prabhu.
Initially, peace of mind. Hare Krishna. Initially, meditation focuses on controlling the mind. In a normal condition, we are slaves to any whimsical thoughts, desires, and appetites the mind may generate. We think of something and immediately we want to do it. But the Bhagavad Gita tells us that the meditator must learn to control the mind. For one who has conquered the mind is the best friend, best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, the mind will remain the greatest enemy. The materialistic mind attempts to enjoy by employing the senses to experience matter and material relationships. It is full of unlimited ideas for sense gratification, and being perpetually restless, it constantly flickers from one sense object to another. In doing so, the mind vacillates between hankering for some marginal material gain or lamenting for some loss or frustration. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains one who has not one who is not in transcendental consciousness can have neither a controlled mind nor steady intelligence, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we can control the mind instead of letting it control us. The mantra is a Sanskrit word, man means mind, and tra means to deliver. Thus, a mantra is a transcendental sound vibration with potency to liberate the mind from material conditioning. In his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada explains our entanglement in material affairs have begun from material sound. Each day we hear material sounds from radio and television, from friends and relatives, and based on that, what we hear, we act. But as Srila Prabhupada points out, there is sound of spiritual world also. If we approach that sound, then our spiritual life begins. When we control the mind by focusing it on purely spiritual sound vibrations of the Hare Krishna mantra, the mind becomes calm. As the music charms to soothe a savage breast, so the spiritual sound of the mantra soothes the restless mind. The Hare Krishna mantra, being imbued with God's own supreme energies, has the power to subdue all kinds of mental disturbances. Just as a reservoir of water is transparent when not agitated, our mental perceptions become clear and pure when the mind is no longer agitated by the waves of material desires. The mind is so pure, mind in its pure state, like a mirror cleansed and of dust, will then reflect undistorted image of reality, allowing us to go beneath the surface and perceive the essential spiritual quality of all life's experiences.
Hare Krishna,
Knowledge of
Prabhuji.
self. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, so
Thank
first
you.
benefit is like we will get some peace of mind. Okay. So initially meditation means like we have to we have to try to try to control our mind. Like we have to focus on controlling mind. So currently we are the slaves of our mind, like whatever whimsical thoughts, whatever material desires or whatever urges come in our mind, come in our mind, we, instead of resistance, what we do, like we immediately act, and like a mind become more and more strong. Mind knows, like if I ask him, he will immediately do. So let me what kind of like we say, like mind harass us at every moment. So in Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says, like Krishna says that like a meditator must control, the yogi must control his mind. And like when he control or when he conquer, when he become a Goswami, then his mind is his best friend. And but on other hand, when when he fails to conquer his mind, he become a Godas, then like a mind is his greatest enemy. So currently, like we haven't conquered our mind. So currently, like our mind is our enemy. So like should we hear the advice from the mind? No. Should we hear the advices from our enemy? No, we shouldn't take the advices from our enemies. So further, what Srila Prabhupada says that like what so my like what are the activities of mind? So thinking, feeling, willing. These are the three things the mind do. So like he constantly thinking and making the plans to enjoy by by employing the senses, like in a different sense objects. Okay, he constantly want to enjoy, because why, because that's the reason we fall down in this material world. We have to enjoy independently without Krishna. But what's the problem, okay, we have to enjoy, that's okay, but like problem is that we are in an illusion. We don't know what is real happiness, okay, and what is real enjoyment. And so mind is full of unlimited ideas for the sense gratification, and he like a mind remains restless. So like it's the mind's nature to stay restless, and like it's mind's nature to bring the lot of thoughts, because this is how mind has designed. So like it is possible to to become a desireless, to stop thinking, or stop bringing this different desires. No, it is not possible. We cannot become desireless. So what we can do, this material thoughts can be replaced by the spiritual thoughts. So yes, actually what the mind does, like he hanker for something, something for the which maybe we can gain in a future. He constantly hanker for that. And the second is that he keeps lamenting for the frustration that or for some loss that causes happened in the past. Okay, so uh, in the Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says, when the mind is uncontrolled, then there is no steady intelligence, and when there is no steady intelligence, then where is the question of peace? And when there is a no peace, then where is the question of happiness? So first thing is that we have to control our mind. And how it is possible? We can control our mind by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Like in Sanskrit word, mana means mind and tra means a deliver. So mantra means the one who deliver the mind. So further, what Prabhupada says, that in the commentary of a Srimad Bhagavatam, our entanglement in the material effects is a begin from the material sounds. Like whatever we hear from the radio, a radio or like television, currently on the social media platforms, on the YouTube, on from the relatives, from the friends, from the general public, whatever we hear, we start having that kind of desires. Okay, and so when we put the too much material things inside our mind, then mind become materialistic. And what Prabhupada says here, the best on based on what we hear, we act. Whatever we hear, we act. We can see they make the crime serials, so that people should become aware, and they do not they do not fall victim. But we can see the criminal uses the same ideas to rob the bank or to commit some crime. They're getting more and more ideas, like how to commit the crime without being not without not being caught. Okay, so yes, so whatever we hear, or whatever we see, we want to do that. So we have to be very careful what we are hearing and what we are watching. So similarly, when we put the spiritual thoughts, when we hear the Harikatha, when we read the Srila Prabhupada books, when we read the Bhagavad Gita, when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, then all the spiritual thoughts goes inside our mind, and our mind becomes spiritual. Okay. And this is how, by doing the Shravanam and Kirtanam, our spiritual life begins. So and like when we focus on this transcendental vibration, because there is no difference between Krishna and his holy name, then like our mind becomes calm. This restless mind becomes little calm. And we can see like like when the mind is calm, then only we can get the clarity of the thoughts. And in a pure state of mind, like it is like the mirror cleans the dust, which like then it can reflect the undistorted image of reality, and then we can start doing our spiritual life. That this is how we started now in nectar of instruction: vacho vegam manasah krodha vegam. We have to control the urges of our mind, we have to tolerate that. Okay. So Hare Krishna. Vinod Prabhu, you want to read next?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Knowledge of the self, Hare Krishna. The Vedas state that consciousness is a symptom of the soul. In its pure condition, the soul exists in the spiritual world. But when it falls down into contact with matter, the living being is covered by an illusion called false egoism. False ego bewilders the consciousness, causing us to identify with our material bodies. But we are not our material body. When we look at our hand or leg, we say, this is my hand or this is my leg. The conscious self, the I, is therefore the owner and observer of the body. Intellectually, this fact is easily understandable. And by the spiritual realization that results from chanting, this truth can be directly and continuously experienced. When the living being identifies with the material body and loses awareness of his real spiritual self, he inevitably fears death, old age, and disease. He fears loss of beauty, intelligence, and strength, and experiences countless other anxieties and false emotions relating to the temporary body. But when we begin regularly chanting Hare Krishna, we soon realize ourselves to be pure and changeless spirit, souls completely distinct from the material body, because the mantra is a completely pure spiritual sound vibration. It has the power to restore our consciousness to its original uncontaminated condition. At this point, we cease to be controlled by jealousy, bigotry, pride, envy, and hatred. As Lord Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita, the soul is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. As our false bodily identification dissolves and we perceive our true transcendental existence, we automatically transcend all the fears and anxieties of the material existence. We no longer think, I am American, I am Russian, I am black, I am white. Attaining personal self-awareness also gives us the ability to see the spiritual nature of other living beings. When our natural spiritual feelings are awakened, we experience the ultimate unity of all life. This is what it means to become a liberated person. By spiritual realization, we become free of our animosity and envy towards other living beings. The higher vision is explained by Sri Prabhupada in Transcendental Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. When a person becomes fully Krishna conscious, he does not think, here is a man, here is an animal, here is a cat, here is a dog, here is a worm. He sees everything as part and parcel of Krishna. This is very nicely explained in the Bhagavad Gita. One who is actually learned in Krishna consciousness becomes a lover of the universe. Unless one is situated on the Krishna conscious platform, there is no question of universal brotherhood. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, like, there are only 2 to 3 pages. Like, today we will read and tomorrow we will summarize, okay?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Sharmila Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Real happiness. Everyone is thirsting for true and lasting happiness. But because material pleasure is limited and temporary, it is compared to a tiny drop of moisture in the desert. It can give us no permanent relief because while material sensations and relationships may touch the body and mind, they lack the potency to satisfy the soul's spiritual desires. The chanting of Hare Krishna provides complete satisfaction because it places us in direct contact with God and His spiritual pleasure potency. God is full of all bliss, and when we enter His association, we can also experience the same transcendental happiness. In the Vedic literature, there is an interesting account on how the pleasure of chanting far exceeds any material benefit. Once a poor Brahmana priest worshipped the demigod Shiva for a material benediction. Shiva, however, advised him to approach the sage Sanatana Goswami to obtain his heart's desire. On learning that Sanatana Goswami had a mystical stone capable of producing gold, the poor Brahmana asked if he could have it. Sanatana consented and told the Brahmana he could take the stone from its place in his garbage pile. The Brahmana left feeling great joy, for he could now get as much gold as he desired simply by touching the stone to iron. But as he walked away, he thought, if a touchstone is the best gift, why would Sanatana Goswami keep it in the garbage? He returned to Sanatana Goswami to find out. Sanatana Goswami informed him, actually, that touchstone is not the best gift, but are you prepared to take the best benediction from me? Yes, the poor Brahmana replied, I have come to you for the best benediction. Sanatana Goswami then told him to throw the touchstone in the nearby river and return. The Brahmana did so, and when he came back, the saintly Sanatana initiated him into the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, the sublime method for experiencing the highest spiritual pleasure. Liberation from karma. The law of karma means that for every material action performed, nature forces an equivalent reaction on the performer. Or, as the Bible states, as you sow, so shall you reap. Material activities can be compared to seeds. Initially, they are performed or planted, and over the course of time, they gradually fructify, releasing their resultant reactions. Enmeshed in this web of actions and reactions, we are forced to accept one material body after another to experience our karmic destiny. But freedom from karma is possible by sincere chanting of Krishna's transcendental names. Since God's names are filled with transcendental energy, when the living being associates with the divine sound vibration, he is freed from the endless cycle of karma. Just as seeds fried in a pan lose their potency to sprout, so karmic reactions are rendered impotent by the power of God's holy names. Sri Krishna is like the sun. The sun is so powerful that it can purify whatever comes into contact with it. If any object enters the sun globe, it immediately becomes fire. Similarly, when our consciousness contacts and becomes absorbed in the transcendental sound Krishna, Sri Krishna's internal energies purify us of all karmic reactions. In his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada stresses, the holy name is so spiritually potent that simply by chanting the holy name, one can be freed from the reactions to all sinful activity. Freedom from reincarnation. The
Hare
Vedas.
Krishna
Okay,
Mataji.
okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Snigdha Mataji, want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Freedom from reincarnation. The Vedas teach that the living entity, the soul, is eternal, but due to past activities and material desires, it perpetually accepts different material bodies. As long as we have material desires, nature, acting under God's direction, will award us one material body after another. This is called transmigration of the soul or reincarnation. Actually, this changing of bodies is not surprising because even in this life we go through many bodies. We start with the body of an infant, then change the infant's body for a child's. Gradually, the body changes into an adult body, then an old man's or woman's body. Similarly, when our present body dies, we get a new one to go on and enjoy and suffer the results of our karma, cycling again and again. Liberation from this cycle of samsara, as it is called, or the endless wheel of birth and death is possible if we free our consciousness from material desires. By chanting Hare Krishna, we revive the soul's natural spiritual desires as well as our awareness of our true identity. Just as it is the nature of the body to be attracted to sense gratification, so it is the nature of the soul to be attracted to God. Chanting awakens our original God consciousness and our desire to serve and associate with Him. By this simple change in consciousness, we can transcend the cycle of reincarnation. Srila Prabhupada discusses this in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. One's thoughts during the course of one's life accumulate to influence one's thoughts at the moment of death. So, this life creates one's next life. If in this life one is transcendently absorbed in Krishna's service, then his next body will be transcendental, spiritual, not material. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the best process for successfully changing one's state of being at the end of one's life. The ultimate benefit, love of God. The final goal and the highest fruit of chanting is complete God realization and pure love of God. As our consciousness becomes increasingly purified, our steady spiritual advancement is reflected in our character and behavior. As the sun approaches the horizon, it is preceded by increasing warmth and illumination. Similarly, as realization of Krishna's holy name is revived in the heart, this increasing spiritual awareness manifests in all aspects of our personality. Ultimately, the eternal loving relationship between God and the living being is revived. Before entering the material world, each soul had a unique spiritual relationship with God. This loving relationship is thousands of times greater and more intense than any love experienced in the material world. This is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the heart of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from one other source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens. In our eternal constitutional position in the spiritual world, we are able to associate with God directly, serving Him in a spiritual form just suitable for our mood of love and devotion. In this relationship of spiritual love, the pure devotee is absorbed in transcendental ecstasy. This state of ecstasy is described in the nectar of devotion. At the time of one's heart becomes illuminated like the sun. The sun is far above the planetary systems, and there is no possibility of its being covered by any kind of cloud. Similarly, when a devotee is purified like the sun from his heart, there is a diffusion of ecstatic love more glorious than the sunshine. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So, like today, tomorrow we will summarize this last 4 points, and we will try to cover the ninth chapter. Uh, like if it is possible, like come by reading the ninth chapter, and if you want, like found one verse from the Hari Bhakta Vilasa which states that like in what mood and like how we have to chant the holy name. So like if you want tomorrow, like for the half hour 7 to 7:30, like we can take some special class on that how we have to chant, because chanting is the basic we have seen now. So whatever you suggest, you want a special class tomorrow, because tomorrow is Sunday also, 7 to 7:30.
Yes,
Hare
okay,
Krishna.
Okay,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so tomorrow we can discuss that verse from the Hari Bhakta Vilasa, and like we will try to cover that this ninth chapter. Okay, and what are the practical ways to chant the Hare Krishna mantra? If it is possible, please we can read by own also. Okay. So Hare Krishna, today we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhe eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Patitanam
vaishnavebhyo
Pavanebhyo
namo namo.
Vaishnavebhyo
Ananta
Namo.
Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila
Jai
Prabhupada ki
Shri
jai.
Prabhupada
Hare
ki
Krishna.
jai.
So
Krishna.
Hare
like
Thank you,
for the
Krishna.
last
Mataji.
2 days, we are running little fast because like only last two chapters now. From Monday we can start our new book. So next book we can start is the Light of Bhagavata, which is very nice book and full of the philosophy. Okay.
Light up.
Light of a Bhagavata. It is a like a kind of a summary study of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, Mother. Light up.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I will
Mother.
share the
Krishna.
PDF.
Thank you, Mother.
Thank you, Motherji.
Happy Krishna Conscious Day.